Welcome to Magoria. This bustling town is a hot spot for rival magicians to gather and gain skills, learn new tricks, and put on performances to the delight of audience members. And recently, a mysterious hooded figure known as the Arcanist has been spotted around town. This is Trickerion and its newest expansion, Arcane Arts, which was designed by David Tortzi and Victor Peter, and is published by Mind Clash Games, who sponsor this video. Hey everyone, I'm Mike Murphy, the Brothers Murphy, and I'm here with BoardGameGeek.com. Well, as I'm a huge fan of Magic, I want to get playing, so let's go a little more in focus on Trickerion and the Arcane Arts expansion. In Trickerion, players will be taking on the roles of rival magicians hoping to put on great illusions in the theater in search of money and fame. The old master magician Dalgard has retired, and you want to be seen as the next great magician of your era. To do this, you're going to need to gain tricks and the materials they need to practice, prep, and ultimately perform for audiences. You'll need to send apprentices, specialists, and your magician themselves around town to the various areas of the board. Each round, you will select cards and assign them secretly to your various player pieces. These cards will show the locations that piece will visit this round. Each player piece shows different action point values on them, with your magician granting you 3 actions, your specialist gaining you 2 actions, and your apprentices giving you 1 action point. Once all players have secretly picked locations for all their pieces, everyone reveals their cards. Now in turn order, you will take turns using one of your pieces at the location you set for them. There are several areas on the board to use your workers. First is downtown. Here you can gain new tricks, hire workers, and visit the bank for a little extra cash. Some action spaces grant extra action points, and when you go here, you will add these action points to the action points from your worker. For example, a specialist grants 2 action points, and if they are in this space, you would gain 2 extra action points for a total of 4. Now you can use your action points to take your actions at that location. If you want to learn a new trick, you can take a trick from the stacks of cards matching one of the dice here. There are 4 categories of tricks: mechanical, spiritual, escape, and optical illusions. You can learn any trick in the stack that matches one of the dice, but you also place a specific magician and with a specialty in one category, so you can always gain tricks of that type. Some tricks require you to have a certain level of fame, however, but these are higher level tricks with greater rewards. You can also hire new workers while downtown. There are 3 specialist types: the manager, the assistant, and the engineer. Each come with a worker piece and each have actions you can take when visiting your workshop. Beware, as you must pay wages for all your workers at the end of each round, so it may be prudent to visit the bank and flip a die down to earn some money. To perform tricks, you will also need materials. Each trick shows any materials you need to have in your shop in order to prep that trick. You must simply have the materials, however, they are never spent. In order to gain materials, you need to visit the market row. Here you can use action points in order to purchase materials and order new materials. They come in levels 1, 2, and 3 and cost a respective 1, 2, or 3 coins each. Once you acquire materials and place them on your workshop board, they can be used for any and all tricks that require that material. Once you have your materials and some tricks, you'll want to prep these tricks. This is done by using your workshop. Each trick shows an amount of action points it requires to prep, and you will place the amount of tiles it shows on that trick. You are now ready to bring these tricks to the theater. You can also make use of your specialist actions while at your workshop. Now it's time to head to the theater. At the theater, you can use your workers to set up a trick by placing one of your tricks tiles on one of the performance cards. The icon that matches your trick type must be placed into the circle, so I'd orient my tile this way for a spiritual trick. If you place down your tile and make a match with another of your tiles or an opponent's tile, you will gain money or fame, as having tricks from the same school of magic follow each other helps add flow to the performance. If the circle shows a Trickerion shard, each contributing player gains 1 shard, which can be used at other locations to gain a bonus action point. The theater shows 4 days where performances can happen. Placing workers on Thursday is beneficial, as you gain an extra action point, but you will earn fewer fame and money when performing tricks on Thursday. Sunday is the opposite and gains you additional money and fame, however you will have 1 fewer action point to use. Setting up tricks on the various performance cards is good, but you haven't put on a show yet. In order for a performance to happen, a player must place specifically their magician on an available day of the week that has not been selected yet. After all players have used their workers, it's time to check the theater. If at least 1 magician has been played to the stage, performances happen. The magician performing the show will choose one of the theater cards. Each player has 1 or more tile on the selected card will perform the tricks they set up on that card. Each trick shows the money and or fame it produces, and you will return the trick to your supply at the end of the round. The performing magician performs their tricks like usual, but they also gain bonuses for the links made by trick tiles, and if any of their specialists are backstage, they provide bonuses as well. This will be the best way to gain fame in the game, which are your points. You can also advertise each round in order to spend money for fame. The game plays over 5 rounds or 7 if playing with a dark alley. Players hope to manage their resources, learn higher level tricks, and perform as much as possible in either their own shows or shows performed by opponents. If using the dark alley, there are also prophecies, which will change the game from round to round, and there are special assignment cards you can gain and use to power up your play, along with player powers as you inhabit specific magicians now. After wheeling and dealing magic to the best of your ability, the player with the most fame wins. Now, as I said at the top of this video, there's been a mysterious figure moving through the town in their wagon, and with the Arcane Arts expansion, players will be able to interact with this figure and begin to reawaken access to real magic. In the Arcane Arts expansion, players will be able to learn from the Arcanist, a practitioner of real magic. Each round, their wagon will be at a location, and if you visit that location, you can spend your action points on the actions of their board. There are enchantments you can purchase. These imbue your tricks with magical properties, and each enchantment can stand in for 2 money worth of trick components. So 2 sheets of metal, for example, can be replaced by 1 enchantment. You can also set the arcane dice and place them near the theater, as in each round, any enchanted tricks that were performed that match the dark die will gain the reward shown on the green die. You will also have the ability to charge for Trickerion shards by replacing them with arcane shards. These shards will produce 2 extra action points when used, and they can even be used in the theater to produce 1 extra action point, which Trickerion shards cannot do. There are also 4 special arcane workers that can be hired, each with their own special abilities. The Spectre can be placed in any location and they do not occupy a worker's space. The Golem provides 3 action points and they can go anywhere, however they must be the first or last placed worker of the round. The Trickster allows you to set a die downtown or an arcane die with no cost and action points. The Shapeshifter has a special bonus when used in the theater and provides a Trickerion shard or fame or money, or you can charge a Trickerion shard if you already possess one. This Shapeshifter can also be considered an apprentice or specialist for any cards that refer to those characters, including during endgame scoring. There are also 3 new prophecies that will interact with the Arcane Arts game elements, and players now will blend science and real magic as they strive to be even more famous and legends like the magic practitioners of old. Trickerion allows you to step in the shoes of magicians as you try to delight crowds of wowed audience members, and by infusing the Arcane Arts into your performances, you can achieve real legend status, taking your talents even further. And if you'd like to learn more about Trickerion and the new Arcane Arts expansion, be sure to check out its pages at BoardGameGeek.com. And until next time, I'm Mike Murphy. We've been here with Board Game Geek, and we've been going in focus on Trickerion and the Arcane Arts expansion. Have a great day.